Hello everybody, my name is Daniel Walton, founder of Patient Acquisition. In this video, I'm gonna show you the ultimate ad strategy to scale your telemedicine, weight loss, or peptide clinic in 2025. And if I was you and owned a telemedicine clinic, these are the exact same ad strategies that I would run. Now, who am I? I'm Daniel Walton, founder of Patient Acquisition. In the last 3 years, we've helped over 100 clinics scale to 7 figures. And in the last year, we've scaled 4 clinics to an 8-figure run rate, all profitably. We actually have one client that we were able to help scale to their first $100 million in revenue. And they did that actually in less than 2 years. So these are strategies that actually work today. And that's one of the things that I see is a lot of these companies, they're running old and outdated ad strategies, okay? So everything that we do at Patient Acquisition is focused around content first. So we use content first strategies. Now, why do we run content first strategies? Well, these platforms are constantly changing. Number one being the privacy policies, right? So privacy is a big issue. I'm sure if you have an iPhone and you're watching this or any Apple products, every app you use, when you get this, it says, do you want this to track across other apps? Everybody says no. So all of this data that you used to get as advertisers, you no longer have. So privacy being one of the major issues with scaling these clinics, scaling these businesses, privacy is really hard, and it makes a lot of the marketers' jobs hard. They're using these strategies. They might have paid for a course back in the day, right? 2018. And since 2018, all these privacy policies have been updated, right? Google's going to completely eliminate cookies they were supposed to eliminate them completely from use, I believe, in 2023. They pushed it back to this year. And now it looks like they pushed it back to 2025. It might get pushed back again, but eventually that's going to be completely eliminated. So for you as the advertiser, as the business, how do you advance with this? So that's where you need a content first strategy. It solves the problem for privacy, right? It also solves the problem for scale, okay? One of our clients that we got, they were stuck around 750 monthly active patients, and they couldn't get beyond that. And their media buyer actually reached out to us, saw what we were doing with some of our influencer campaigns and some of the content we were creating, and said, wow, I need this. Can I get you a meeting with our CEO and see if they'll work with you? I can't scale. They can't give me content fast enough. And a lot of very aggressive companies, those are like the clients we want to work with that are like, hey, we want to scale like yesterday, right? So we can help them scale very fast with a content first approach, because we're going to focus on you guys creating content, us creating content. And this is what we do when I mean a content first strategy. So this solves the privacy issue. This solves the scale issue. And then this also solves the tracking issue. You lose a lot. And what I don't quite understand, and maybe I don't understand it because I'm newer to the game in the sense that I've only been doing digital marketing for the last 3 years now. I've invested heavily. I've been lucky to pay for some of the best coaches, join some of the best masterminds. And even though it's been 3 years that we've been doing this, we've managed over $20 million in marketing campaigns. We have some clients spending 7 figures a month on marketing campaigns. And I'm able to accumulate in a month what some agencies don't even accumulate in a year, what most agencies would want to accumulate in a year as far as total data. So simply put, we're just able to see much more at scale than most other agencies are able to. And that's why I've been able to scale so fast. It's, I think, why we've been able to grow so fast. And a lot of these agencies, they're using outdated strategies that work for them. And now they're content with getting, a 1 to 3% lead conversion rate. So these strategies that I'm going to teach you are going to help you get significantly better lead conversion rate issues. And these are through our content first strategies. Now, depending on some of the challenges, we have a strategy that we like to use, which we call our cookie jar strategy, right? As I said, these platforms are eliminating the cookies, right? You put your hand in the cookie jar, there's no cookies. So how do you get your cookies when there's no cookies in the cookie jar? So that's why we named it this, because eventually these cookies are going to be eliminated. So we don't need the cookies. We don't rely on them, because these platforms, they actually give us all of the data that we need, right? If you look in your campaign, if you look at your ads, they actually show you quite a bit of information that most marketers just aren't using. So with this cookie jar strategy, essentially what we're doing is we're creating, it's a loophole essentially in the system that leverages social proof, engagement, and by doing this makes us appear better than we are and get more engagement, which the platform actually rewards. So by having the social proof aspect, think of Amazon. When you go to Amazon and you look at a product and you're wondering which product to buy, maybe like which pen for an iPad is the best stencil. You're going to look at all the reviews. That's the social proof. Essentially, these are social platforms. We're recreating that. So with this strategy, what we do is we have a way of setting up these campaigns where we're able to create an engagement post where we're getting people to like the post, we're getting people to comment on the post, we're commenting back with them, and eventually over time you'll see this almost viral looking post that we create through ads. And what this does is it builds social proof. Now all these people are commenting like, how much is it? Like, how do I sign up? And then you as the business are responding, and it shows that you're an active business. And we create this ad that builds a lot of social proof. Go figure, you need social proof for a social media advertising strategy to work. So we've been able to leverage this strategy, and this strategy in particular is great for smaller businesses that are just getting started, right? So with this, we took a client from about $35,000 per month in revenue to over $125,000 in monthly recurring revenue in less than 8 months. And they were struggling. They were barely breaking even. They had been through all these agencies, and we immediately implemented this strategy. And what happened is their costs went down because of the engagement. So as we start to build engagement, what the ads do is they start to reward you. The platforms reward you. They say, you are getting all this engagement. We're actually going to help you, and we're going to lower your costs, because to them, they care about the user experience. So the more users that engage with that post, the cheaper your costs become. They say this is a good content. We're going to lower the cost because it's great content. Look at all the data we're getting from it, right? So the more engagement, the cheaper the CPM becomes. The more watch time, the more shares, all these things. The platform determines this is a great piece of content. So we're going to actually show this to more people by lowering your cost per 1,000 impressions. So maybe 100, now down to $50. Now you're going to see twice as many per dollar spent. So this is how we're able to build social proof, drive more engagement, and lower the costs. So this is huge for ads. This is one of my favorite strategies, our cookie jar strategy. It's great for businesses that don't have the social proof, that aren't as recognized, and maybe don't have a lot of money to put into very expensive content, right? We can build this. Now, the challenge with this campaign is you have to know how to set it up. Now, we do that for our clients, and if you can't afford to work with us, I teach you exactly how to do this in my inner circle. I do coaching for clinics that are under a 7-figure run rate that wouldn't be a good fit for my business. I can teach them exactly how to do this so they can fire their lead gen company, their marketing company that's not really getting great results and making a bunch of excuses. So by implementing this, you're going to increase your social proof, you're going to increase your engagement, and you're going to lower your cost on this. But instead of just doing an engagement post, what happens with an engagement post is when you do that, you can't have a headline and a clear call to action. If you try to run that as an ad, you won't be able to. So there's a way that you have to set this campaign up, and I'll show all my inner circle students how to do that. And we do this for all of our clients, but you have to set it up. By doing this, we're able to create essentially an engagement post, and then we're going to be able to put a headline on it, which would be your offer, your call to action. And this is how we're able to drive significant conversions. Think of more leads, more signups, more show rates on your appointments. And this is a great strategy for newer businesses. So one of the content first strategies, and these platforms are really optimizing for this. So you really want to be thinking about content first ad strategies, especially if you're struggling with conversion issues, low conversion rates, like 1 to 5%. That's pretty low. Low show rates. Anything below like 65%, I would say is very, very low show rates. Below 50%, terrible show rates. So these are going to help improve that. Now, my favorite strategy for larger clients that are looking to scale and have a little bit more infrastructure when it comes to content production, meaning they can create short form content, they understand the platforms, and they're not so dependent on a direct response advertiser. This is going to be our blitzing strategy that we use. Now, why blitzing? Well, blitzing is a term used in the NFL. Normally they have like 3 or 4 people rushing toward the quarterback. And in a blitz, what happens is they send in a lot more. They're just hitting them really hard, and they're trying to put pressure on that quarterback, and they're blitzing them with a bunch of people, right? The Germans called this the Blitzkrieg. This was a famous German technique where they would just hit them really fast with a bunch of troops, and it would throw off the military. So we call this our blitzing strategy. Simply, you have your ad here, and then that ad you either drive to a lead form, and you might have all this, this messaging copy, and you're going to run this to a lead form, and then you might even run this lead to another landing page with a calendar, so a booking. So this is generally the flow that most campaigns are going to follow. They'll have the ad running to the lead, to the booking page. And what happens with most marketing companies is they might get like a 1 to 3% lead conversion rate. That's terrible. I don't know when this became an acceptable number, but 1 to 3% is horrible, right? And so most of these companies, they're running these ads, they get a lead, and they only convert about 1 to 3%. So meaning if they got 100 leads, they only signed up 1 to 3 patients. And that's no good. So this strategy is going to be used, and it's going to help you improve that. Now, if you do a call booking, maybe you're booking appointments from your ads, this strategy is going to show that conversion or the show rate. So if you have a low show rate, this strategy is going to be excellent for improving that. We had a client that was about a 40% show rate. Within 1 month, we were immediately able to get them up to about a 75% show rate. So this is going to help improve your show rate issues. But essentially what happens with this is, let me go ahead and erase some of this stuff here. Essentially what happens is you have your ad. Generally, this is a direct response style ad. That's all that most agencies are running. They run it to a lead or a booking, or they run a lead to then a booking page. And what we're going to do is how we set up this campaign is we're going to have anywhere from 10 to 20 pieces of content that we're going to add in and we're going to blitz them with. So we'll do that direct response ad. That's going to get a large portion of the budget, but then we have a budget set aside that we're going to blitz these leads with. We're going to blitz these booked appointments with to drive more conversions, right? For a high ticket offer, like you might sell, right? If you're selling a $1,200 weight loss treatment, it might even be broken up into $300 monthly payments, but most people need to be on it for like 4 to 6 months. You're looking at a $1,200 to like a $2,400 LTV. I would consider that a higher ticket, maybe not quite high ticket, but it's getting up there where this strategy can be very effective to get people to actually sign up. So what we do is we'll have all these ads. I'm not going to spell this out for every single one of them, but you'll have 20 ads in this campaign, and this is going to be a retargeting campaign that we set up. So we'll have our main ad right here, and then we'll have a retargeting campaign, this one right here, that we target anybody who becomes a lead or anybody who books a call. And by doing this, we're going to blitz these people with all these pieces of content, right? As I said, it takes 10 to 20 impressions to drive a sale, okay? And by having these 20 pieces of content, what you're gonna see is we're gonna notice significantly higher show rates, conversion rates, and even upsell rates. This is one of the most common things that we hear from our closers and our sales team is the show rates, the upsell rates improves. We're seeing about a 20 to 30% upsell rate improvement across the board from doing this. So what we do, the lead comes in, and then we set up the structure in a way where all of these people or all of these ads get hit, and we're not asking for them to do anything else. All we're trying to do with this is we're trying to get them to go to the next step, right? So if it's a lead, we want them to get on the call, right? Most of these leads don't even pick up. So we're simply following our 4 content pillars ad strategy, which is questions that come from questions, and then expectations and objections. So in the blitzing strategy, we have a direct response ad going to a lead or a booking page. And once that action happens, now they enter this blitzing strategy, and we're going to hit them. We're going to get these 10 to 20 impressions. We're going to get that way up. Now, what are we hitting them with? This is the 4 content pillars. So questions, think of like, well, how much is the treatment? It's $199 a month. Well, how many months am I going to need to be on this? Well, you're going to probably need to be on it for 4 to 6 months. Some people are on it 12 months, but the average LTV of a weight loss patient, the average time of these patients are on it's about 4 to 6 months, and that depends on your meeting with the doctor. All right, so that's a question that comes from the question. Expectations. So you clicked on our ad, you signed up as a lead. The next step for you is to schedule a call with one of our physicians. They're going to be able to see if you're actually available or if you're actually qualified for this type of treatment. So that's an expectation. And then objections, right? These are going to be what you'll get from your sales team. If you have a patient coordinator, if you have a salesperson, they're going to know all these objections. And these are questions that you're going to want to understand, objections you're going to want to understand, and you're going to want to build all your content strategies around this. So those objections could be something like, $199, that's a lot of money, right? I saw it for less. And what good piece of content would be like, so $199 is our price, and you might have seen something for cheaper, but I would be cautious of purchasing anything that's less than that for these reasons. You might get an impure product or whatever the reason is. Now, these, we will work with you. We have tons of content ideas, but this pretty much summarizes our content first strategy, right? We have our two main strategies that we like to run, which is our cookie jar strategy, great for newer clinics just getting started. And then we have our blitzing strategy. And these are two of my favorite ad strategies that we use. These are great for improving show rates, improving conversion rates, and just really optimizing the overall user experience. The biggest takeaways that you'll see from this is improved conversion rates. You're going to see an improvement in your upsells. So let's say you're running a Botox offer for $199, or in this case, we do med spas, but for telemedicine clinics, let's say you have like a $199 offer, and maybe you want to upsell them like coaching and diets and all these other things that gets them up to like $500. You're going to see an improvement in that, and then you're going to see a noticeable improvement in the show rates. And if you don't know how to do these, I do have a coaching program where we will coach med spas and telemedicine clinics who aren't qualified for our main offer. Or if you need help, fill out an application. The information is below, and I can see if we might be able to help you. I'm only taking on projects now that I know for certain we're going to be able to help them. And we're really looking for people that want to scale and want to hit 8 or 9 figures. This is going to be a great strategy that we can implement for them.